Ciao and welcome. So today we're going to tackle that one thing that drives so many of us crazy when we're learning a language. That fear of actually speaking it. We're going to break down some really simple, really powerful ways to get over your fear of speaking Italian. And you know what? You'll be surprised at just how easy it is to get started. So let's just dive right in. Okay, does this sound familiar? You've been studying, you've got the vocabulary down, you can even follow a movie pretty well. But the second it's your turn to talk, your mind just goes poof, completely blank. It's this awful, freezing feeling, and honestly, it's enough to make you want to just quit, right? If that last slide made you nod your head, just take a deep breath. I want you to know this is not a you problem. This is a totally normal, super common part of learning a new language. Pretty much everybody goes through this. And the best news of all? It's not permanent. It's something we can absolutely fix, and we can start today. And this right here, this just says it all, doesn't it? Over on the left, you got your passive skills. Reading, listening, it feels great. You're in your comfort zone. You understand what's going on. But then you look at the right side, the active skill of speaking. The moment the spotlight's on you, it feels like an entirely different universe. The words you know are there, just won't come out. So how in the world do we build a bridge between these two? Well, here's the secret, and it's a real game changer. You don't actually need a conversation partner to start fixing this. You don't have to put yourself in that high-stress, high-pressure situation right away. The methods we're about to go over, you can do them completely on your own, which takes away one of the biggest sources of that anxiety. All right, strategy number 1. This isn't about memorizing more words or drilling verb conjugations. It's about something way more fundamental. It's about literally finding your Italian voice. The whole point here is just to get used to the physical feeling and the actual sound of your own voice making these new Italian sounds. It sounds almost too simple, but this is a massive psychological block. Think about it. Your brain, your mouth, your tongue, they've spent your entire life making the sounds of your native language. So when you try to make these new Italian sounds, it just feels weird. It feels awkward. And that feeling of this is strange is often enough to make our brain just slam on the brakes. So how do we get over that weirdness? With 2 incredibly simple, tiny habits. First, from now on, when you're studying vocabulary, you don't just read it in your head, you say every single word out loud. Make it physical. Second, you're going to start connecting those words to your actual life by just naming objects around you as you go about your day. And look how easy this is. You're in the kitchen, you pick up your coffee mug, and you just say it out loud. La tazza. You're opening the window to get some air. La finestra. It's these tiny little moments of practice that start to make the sound and the feeling of speaking Italian totally normal to you. Okay, so once you're getting more comfortable just making the sounds, the next level is to train your brain to actually find the words when you need them. This is how we're going to tackle that awful panic mode, that moment where your mind just goes completely blank. Now, this is so important. This is not a memory problem. The words are in your head, I promise. The issue is about retrieval, how fast your brain can grab them. It's kind of like your brain is a library. It knows all the books are there, but it's never had any drills on how to run to the right shelf and pull a book out quickly. We just need to give it that practice. I absolutely love this analogy because it just changes your whole perspective. We have this idea that speaking a language is a performance, and we should be amazing at it from day one. But it's not. It's an athletic skill, and you would never ever show up to run a marathon if you'd never even gone for a jog by yourself first. And that's the big mindset shift right there. You have to stop expecting yourself to be perfect right out of the gate. It's impossible. Instead, just give yourself permission to train. The pressure is gone, it's just you getting your reps in, building that skill in a totally safe, low-stakes environment. And the training for this mental marathon? It's just as simple. We're going to start narrating our own lives in Italian. First, by describing what you're doing right in the moment, and second, by just describing the room you're in or what you see out the window. And the golden rule always is you've got to say it out loud. So, for example, while you're making that coffee, you can just say to yourself, mi preparo il caffè. You sit down to watch TV, guardo la TV. And here's my favorite low-pressure hack of all time. Talk to your pet. Your dog, your cat, your goldfish, they are the absolute perfect non-judgmental audience. I guarantee they will never ever correct your grammar. Okay, now this is really important. As you're doing this, you have to throw perfection out the window. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to forget words. You'll probably mess up the grammar. That is not just okay, it's a necessary part of learning. The goal is not a perfect sentence. The goal is simply to make your brain practice the act of producing an Italian phrase, any phrase, spontaneously. So we've got our techniques. We know how to find our voice. We know how to train our brain. Now for the last piece of the puzzle, the one that ties it all together. Building a simple, consistent habit. This right here is what separates the people who break through that wall from the ones who stay stuck. And this might just be the best part of all. You don't need to carve out an hour from your packed schedule. You just need 5 minutes. That's it. Just start with 5 minutes a day of talking to yourself in Italian. Naming things, describing what you're doing. Seriously, anybody can find 5 minutes. So really, the big takeaway is this. That fluent, confident Italian speaker you imagine yourself being someday, that person isn't some far-off future version of you. That voice is already inside you, right now. It just needs a little bit of practice, a little bit of low-pressure training to be let out. So the only question left is, are you ready to let it out?